Swapping your guitar's pickguard is a really easy and effective way to customize your guitar, so I'm going to show you how to do it step by step on this guitar here. Now the first thing to do is make sure that the pickguard is the right size and shape for your guitar, so it's got the right cutouts, it has the right pickup configuration, and importantly it has the right amount of screw holes. In fact, that's what's happened with this guitar. This has an 11 screw hole scratch plate, whereas it needs a 12, so this one will fit perfectly. Now, if you've got strings on your guitar, you're going to want to take them off. While you can technically loosen the strings and then work around them, it's better to have the clearance of removing the strings because it gives you more room to work and there's less chance that you're going to accidentally scratch your guitar. Next, if your knobs and your switch are on the pickguard like this, then you want to take them off. And to do that, you just have to slide a cloth under the knob and pull upwards, and then that will take it off. And then to do the switch cap, again, you just have to sort of ease it off. It might be a little bit difficult, but it will come off. Now loosen and remove the pickguard screws to take the pickguard off. Just be careful not to remove the screws for the switch or the pickups just yet, because they can be quite close to the edge. You just want the smaller pickguard screws. Now once those screws are out, your pickguard's still going to be attached to your guitar by wires underneath. So what you want to do is just lift it gently and then slide a cloth or a towel underneath to protect the guitar's finish. Now at this point you might want to snap a couple of pictures or take a quick video of how everything's laid out, just in case you get a little bit lost when you're putting it back together later. Now you can start loosening the screws and taking the pickups out. And what I will say is you want to support the pickup with your free hand because you don't want them to just fall out, because there's a lot of sensitive wires here that might get damaged if they fall quite far and take a bang. There's also some hardware like rubber spacers or springs that might fall out and get lost otherwise, so just keep your hand under there. Next, you'll want to take off the volume and tone pots and the switch. And the reason that we do this after the pickups is because the screw that was there really gets in the way when you're trying to take that volume pot off. You don't get a lot of clearance. So with that gone, you're free to just take it off nice and easy. Again, you want to hold the pots from underneath so that they don't just fall out, because there's a lot of sensitive wires going on here. I find that it helps just to get them just loosened with the spanner, and then you can unscrew them with your fingers. It's quite easy. Then we just need to take the switch out, and with that last screw out, the pickguard is now free to come off. Again, just make sure that all the hardware is sat on the towel. You don't want this sitting on your guitar's finish because you might accidentally scratch it. And that's the inside of our guitar. All we have to do now is the exact reverse. Now with the pots, you want to make sure that any washers that were underneath there have been put back on and that it's been pushed all the way through, and that you want to hold it underneath with your fingers. Now we're just putting the pickups back on, and you want to make sure that you reattach any hardware to the underside of the screw, like these rubber spacers here. At this point, we just want to get the pickups screwed into the pickguard. It doesn't really matter about the height. That is really important, but we'll look at that more in a minute. Once everything's on there, just give it one last check underneath to make sure that everything's looking good. Then we're just going to put the knobs back on. So we've got our volume at the top and then the two tones. And one thing that I like to do is make sure that they're turned up all the way, and then that will be the max setting. So then just put 10 wherever you want it to be. And then we know that our max is there. If your switch cap is a little bit loose, you can put a little bit of glue in there, or I find that Blu Tack works quite well and it's easy to take back off, although it can get a little bit messy. Now you just have to lift up the pickguard gently, again, because remember it's attached to your guitar now, and just slide out the cloth. And then what you want to do is have a look underneath and make sure that everything's sat in the proper cavities before you put it down, because you don't want to accidentally catch any wires or have anything sticking out or bent in a way that it shouldn't be, because it will just get damaged. Once you're happy that everything's in the right place, all you have to do is lay the pickguard down. And the easiest way to do that is just scoot it back towards the bridge, then angle it down towards there, and then just slide it in underneath the fretboard, because it can sometimes get caught on the overhang there, especially the more frets that you have. And then it will just slide into place. Now we just want to screw the scratch plate back in. And it's really important here to make sure that the holes are aligned with the scratch plate. You don't want something at a funny angle, because what that will do, it will drive the screw in sideways and you'll damage the hole. Don't make it too tight either, because what that will do is it will pull the scratch plate in one direction, and then that can cause misalignment as well. So do one there, and then do one on the opposite side. Again, not all the way. We don't want to over tighten them, literally just until they put up some resistance. That means that they're screwed down, but they're not too tight. You're not going to split the wood or anything like that. And there we go, our scratch plate is back on, but we're not done yet. There's a very important step to do. But first, I'm going to load it up with some strings. Now that you've got your new pickguard on, the only thing left to do is to set the correct pickup height, which is really, really important, or else your guitar might not sound right. But I've got a video showing you exactly how to do that right here. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I really hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next one.